What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video here on my 7.3 Powerstroke. Today we got our new package in from Rough Country. I got a 2.5-inch suspension leveling kit for it, which a lot of you guys might be wondering why I did this, as the truck already is leveled. Well, right now it's on a 2-inch leveling kit with these blocks under here instead of full springs, which makes it ride a lot rougher than with full springs, which is the reason I decided to go with a Rough Country level. There's a lot of different ones like this on the market that just have these little blocks here, or there's one I seen, I think Zone makes, where it just adds another full spring or two under it, but you still have your original springs. And being that these are 25 years old, I felt like I was better off getting full new springs, new bushings in each end, etc. And the kit also comes with 4 new shocks, which I've never taken these off to check them, but they look like they've been on there forever, so it couldn't hurt to replace those too. And I know leaf spring trucks never ride that great, and single cabs, being that they're shorter wheelbase, tend to not ride as good either. But this thing honestly rides really rough, and I've had Rough Country leveling kits, or even on the case of my 6.7, a full lift kit on all my trucks that I've ever owned, and all of them rode decent. Even my last 99 7.3 had a leveling kit exactly like this one, the full 2.5-inch Rough Country springs, and it rode pretty good for being a leaf spring truck. So I'm hoping to achieve a similar ride with this. And as well, I really am looking forward to trying this because I have a little bit of rubbing when I've test fit the 37s off of my 6.7 onto this truck with the 2-inch lift. And a lot of guys on Facebook and Instagram have told me that with the 2.5-inch level, you can clear 37s. So that's kind of another reason why I decided to go with this kit. So with that being said, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get started with this install by jacking up the front end and leaving 2 jack stands, likely with a board under them because my jack stands aren't high enough, right behind this rear shackle for the leaf spring, and also blocking up the rear wheels. All right, now with the wheels taken off, the first step I'm going to want to go ahead and do here is take off the track bar, and I'm going to remove it completely. We've got one 30mm nut up there and then one over here that hooks into the axle. And this is important to do this first. I probably should have done this before I put this on jack stands because there's going to be so much prying, and hopefully it's not sketchy, but that's going to have to come out, otherwise the axle's not going to want to move for us. And Rough Country sent us one with the kit, new one that should be a different length, and I actually am going to be using a 1 3/16 because I don't have a 30mm socket, but it technically is a 30mm under there if you're wondering. There is virtually no way I'm going to get that by hand, so I'm going to go ahead and try to use a pipe and do it up here standing up. I think I'm getting something out of it. Hopefully I don't slip up and hit the top of my fender. If I'm hearing those little clicks, that tells me I'm doing something right. All right, hopefully that fan isn't too loud. I'll try to shut it off when I'm explaining anything super important, but it's still like 90 degrees out and it's just now getting to be nighttime. Earlier today it was 97, so it's been a hot day out, as you could tell by the dog. But anyway, right here we've got our old track bar taken out. So now the next thing I'm gonna wanna move into is taking off our original shocks, which this should be about the easiest part. I am gonna go ahead and do this install one side at a time. I've done it a few different ways in the past. I've had my axle slide out on me and get off-centered, and then it was a real bear, even with 3 guys helping me to get it lined back up back in the day. So I'm gonna see if I can try to get by with using just one side at a time, especially since I'm by myself and I've only one jack. At least one of the bolts came off easy for me. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bolt back here for this leaf spring shackle, as well as the one up here. Looks like these are gonna be some 24 millimeters. The impact luckily just barely fits in here. The instructions say to take off the bumper, but I don't really see why that would be necessary. Okay, so we got the front bolt out finally, which was a huge pain of fighting it by hand. And to squeeze that out, I did have to temporarily remove one of those brackets here for that cooler, which was just one, I believe, 8 millimeter bolt. And then these actually ended up zipping right off. All right, I'm gonna be throwing back in the original shock lower mount. I know this looks terrible. I should wire wheel and spray paint this, but I'm all out of spray paint and I don't wanna drive 15, 20 minutes into town to get some. And before you guys say I'm lazy in the comments, the rest of the frame just says POR 15 on it for now. And one day I wanna actually sandblast under here and epoxy prime and paint this, so that'll fix that issue. There we go. All right, so you can see my setup here. I had to take a second jack to get that bottom plate to fit up to that axle, so that way the U-bolts would go in, because without that, it was really not wanting to line up, at least on one side. So now I'm gonna go ahead and be able to pull out that bottle jack and run these bolts in as best as I can, going in a X pattern as if you were doing lug nuts to draw them up evenly. All right, so we've got one side of our leaf springs put in now. And I just went back and forth around it in a cross pattern until all those leaves are tight without having the clamp on it. And I pretty much tightened it with the impact until the socket quit spinning. These bolts, all the ones related to mounting to the frame, don't get tightened until the wheels are back on and the weight of the truck's on the springs. And there is torque specs in the instructions if you guys wanted to go off of that, but I don't ever torque those to spec. I just tighten them as hard as I can, and then I'll drive the truck around for about 500 miles and then go under there and tighten the crap out of them again. So now I'll go ahead and pop the new shocks in, and then we can begin the other side. I'm moving into throwing in our new shock absorber. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt in the bottom one first and just get it, started by hand. And then you're gonna cut this tie and pop it on your upper mount as it goes up. Now these can be tightened with your impact all the way right now. You don't need to leave these loose. And there we have it. That's one side in. Now I'll jump on the other side. All right, guys, since my last clip, I went ahead and threw most of the rest of this together. As you can see, both leaf springs are obviously already in, all the shocks are in. I put the wheels on it, lowered it down, and then tightened all my bolts back up for the hangers, as well as put back in that sway bar link that I had to take out to get out of my way. And then I went to the back of the truck and threw in the 2 new shocks for the rear as well, which look great. I went and pressed the other ones into the floor and let them release, and they were releasing really slow, so those shocks were due to be replaced anyway. But yeah, it has a really nice stance with the 2.5-inch level. I think my old springs were worn out, because if that other one was a 2-inch level, it seems to be way taller up front than another only 1/2 inch. Anyway, that leaves us with our last step here, which I can't get a good angle on the camera, so I'm just gonna have to do it off camera, but that'll be throwing in our track bar, and I'm gonna have to get one end bolted in and then have someone help me turn the wheel back and forth until it lines up to that upper mount. So basically, as you turn the wheel with the truck running, it's gonna essentially shift the body back and forth along the axle a little bit. So that's what I'll need to do. So I'll see you guys once that's in, and that'll be the completed install. Well, the leveling kit install is officially complete. Luckily, I was able to finish it without having anyone turn the wheel. It must be because it already was higher than stock height before, so it's kind of lined up, is my guess. Any of the times I've done this to a stock truck, I've always had to have someone turn the wheel back and forth a little bit to line that track bar up. As you can see though, surprisingly, my wheel is way out of adjustment from this, which I knew I was going to need an alignment, and I needed one beforehand anyway, which is part of the reason of my front end rebuild that I'm about to do whenever I get the time, as well as redoing the leaf springs like I did. I wanted to have everything new before the fresh alignment, but I'm surprised that it would throw it this much off going from a 2-inch level to 2.5. This is exactly the same as when you go from stock to a 2-inch or stock to a 2.5-inch. That's why I'm a little bit surprised that it throw it off this much, but that's all right because I'm going to get the new alignment soon anyway. With that being said, I'm just taking it on a quick test drive up and down my road, and it honestly does seem to ride a lot nicer. I'm sure a decent chunk of that has to do with having full springs that don't have spacers under them that flatten them out, but I'm sure a lot of it also has to do with the shocks being new, because the old shocks were definitely getting pretty tired. So with that being said, I'm going to loop around real quick and head back to the house, and then we'll conclude this video. And that'll conclude this video. Not too hard of an install. Probably took me 4 or 5 hours if anyone's trying to reference how long it would take them on average. And I really like the way it looks. I think the stance is much improved. Before, the sun's coming out on me, but before the front end almost leaned down, I felt like a little bit more than the back, and now I feel like it sits perfectly level, which is what I was going for. And it's nice having all new shocks included in the kit for the rear too, just so everything can be fresh all at once without having to order stuff from a bunch of different places. But yeah, here's the kit. I'm really liking it. And I'm also seeing, looks like my front differential cover is starting to leak on me, so I guess you can expect to see a video of that soon, fixing the leak and getting new fluid. But with that being said, that's going to conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.